If you've ever posted anything online, congratulations, you're now an unpaid intern at a major tech company. Let's talk about how big tech is using your data to build AI tools without your permission, how they're getting away with it, and what we can do about it. Part 1. What's happening? AI companies are essentially treating the internet like an all-you-can-eat buffet, piling their plates high with your personal data, blogs, tweets, photos. Basically, if it's online, it's on the table. They're using this data to teach algorithms how to mimic human creativity, build bots, and cut down the cost of employing actual humans. The problem, other than the obvious, is they didn't ask permission, and they certainly aren't paying for it. Meta, ever the privacy pioneer, has started to train their AI on EU data without explicit consent. Australian digital rights group NOIB has even threatened legal action, arguing that Meta's approach violates GDPR by relying on a dubious legitimate interest claim instead of giving a clear opt-in consent button. Meta claims this data is for fair use, and once the judge stopped laughing, they said, "The fuck?" If stealing a book to train your AI is fair use, then students pirating textbooks to learn should also be fair use. And Zuckerberg, at the very least, you could have seeded the books, you monsters. Meta has announced plans to train its AI models by using public content of Facebook and Instagram in the UK. This includes everything. Although, to their credit, which I don't say very often, they have drawn the line at private messages and content from users under the age of 18. Be right back, I'm off to change my age on Facebook. Google is hoovering up the entire internet to feed its AI, Gemini. In 2023, they quietly rewrote their privacy policy, say they can use anything that's publicly available. That includes your personal blog, every local news site, and that comment you drunkenly left on a Reddit thread about Chris. If you open a bag of cheese and onion on a train, you should get the death penalty. I will not be taking questions. When publishers dared to complain about having their articles nicked, Google then shrugged and said, well, it's public though, innit? Meanwhile, the New York Times, feeling a lot less generous, sued them and OpenAI for scraping millions of articles. Google claims it's just the cost of innovation, but in reality, it's more like robbing a library and then claiming you invented reading. Court filings revealed OpenAI scraped data from pirate book sites. Amazon's AI efforts consist of hoovering up product reviews, customers' questions, and whatever else they can get from their little bookshop. Netflix haven't hoovered up the public internet yet, but they are very interested in you, what you watch, when you watch it, and how long you hover over that weird documentary about murderers because you secretly find them a little bit sexy. And again, I won't be taking questions. And actors have accused Netflix of scanning their voices and faces to build AI-generated performers. And finally, Apple's intelligence system claims to be private and respectful, which sounds great, until you realise they haven't actually said what data they've used. Part 2. The consent problem. Let's talk about consent. It's a pesky concept in tech circles, and they treat it in the same way toddlers treat vegetables. Technically required, but if possible, we will ignore it. And in the case of AI training, it's more like an afterthought, or more accurately, a speed bump. A speed bump that Meta, OpenAI, and Google drive over at 90 miles an hour in an image of a Tesla that they scraped from your personal blog. No one asked you if they could feed your artwork, essays, or social media posts into a massive data blender to make ChatGPT.
Once more for the people at the back.
And I do not count changing your unreadable terms and conditions, or creating and then hiding the opt-out button, or simply saying this is progress as asking for permission. If we make the thing, you should ask us before you use the thing. For another thing, just because it's publicly available doesn't mean you have permission to use it. That would be like saying, well, the door was unlocked, so I assumed I could sleep in their bed, or the body was in a public graveyard, so I thought I could teach it to dance. Okay, I've gone too far with that one, I'm tired. Part 3. Who is profiting? Everyone but you. OpenAI is making money by charging fees to use the premium version of ChatGPT, which is kind of like that bit in Fight Club, where they realized they could make soap out of fat sucked from people and then sell it back to them. Amazon is making money by being able to predict what you need before you know you need it. And electricity companies are profiting because of the huge resources required to power all this crap. And we get a slightly updated version of Clippy whether we wanted it or not. Part 4. Why does this matter? Do I really need a section for this? People worked hard on their books, art and SoundCloud raps. Okay, maybe not that last one. Big tech takes all of this in order to create tools that make themselves billions. People aren't being paid. People aren't even being told. It's like if someone stole your lunch and then opened a sandwich shop with it and then made you queue up to buy it back. Bite Club, if you will. Oh, fuck off. That is a good pun on several levels. So What's being done about that then? Great question, me in a hat. The EU passed the AI Act in July 2024, establishing a regulatory framework for AI systems. The UK House of Lords approved an amendment to the data bill mandating AI companies disclose which copyrighted works they've used. However, the House of Commons did reject it. The US Generative AI Copyright Disclosure Act, try saying that 3 times quickly, was introduced in 2024 and requires companies to notify the Register of Copyrights if their work has been used to train AI models. But you might still notice there's no mention of pay. I'd rather not be notified if they're not going to pay me. And there's even fewer mentions of how many people actually want this. So they're gonna keep stealing our data because there are no repercussions for doing that. Even Clippy asked before popping up. These companies don't even do that. Godspeed.